Check, 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 check. Yeah, check. Let's gotta get closer.
Test it 1, 2.
Wow. Shoot, most high in Christ. All right. Shalom Yahaba Shem Yahushai Barakathum to the brothers. Shalom Yahushua Alathaba Shem Yahushai to the sisters. We are the ISUPK, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Today is the Sabbath service, and today we're going to be covering something a little different. So we talked about many things. We talked about what is love? Love is an action. But today we're going to cover something that's been floating around our community, the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community for a long time. And there's this term called unconditional love. So the thing is, we have to understand what love is really. And we also have to understand, is love actually unconditional according to the Most High? Now, you know, a lot of Christians and fake Israelites and, you know, religious folk, whatever you want to call them, they believe that God is going to love you no matter what. Jesus Christ, or Yahushua Mashiach in the Hebrew, is going to love you no matter what you do, no matter what. But the thing is that really true, though? And we're going to be covering a few things, not just what the Most High has done for us, both good and bad, but also what you, as the children of Israel, so-called Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians today, what you should do. And what does it really mean to have unconditional love? Is unconditional love a good or a bad thing? That's like the real big question that's been floating around for, longer than I think most of us have been alive, honestly. But with that, we're going to jump right into it. We're going to get into the prayers. And with that, Amijam, just me and the brother up here.
La Yasharala,
which means to Israel in the Hebrew. Sorry, it's me.
almost got it.
Amadim upon Yahakwadam, which means to stand and face the east. And we're going to be getting started with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Sisters, remember to have your heads covered. Brothers, remember to have your heads uncovered. And with that, the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakutka. Taba'ah. Ratazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'aratza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashamayim. Nathanawa. Lakam. Call. Yawam. Wasalaknawa. Kabawafnawa. Kasalaknawa. Kabawathinawa. Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Tabayanawa.
Tabayanawa.
Banasaiwan.
Banasaiwan.
Abal.
Abal.
Habashainawa.
Habashainawa.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Rai.
Rai.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Hamalakwa.
Hamalakwa.
Wa'ala.
Wa'ala.
Wa'atapara.
Wa'atapara.
La'alumium.
La'alumium. Amen. The Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father.
Our Father.
Which art in heaven.
Which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
In earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day.
Our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not.
And lead us not.
Into temptation.
Into temptation.
But deliver us.
But deliver us.
From evil.
From evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
So be it.
So be it. Hakak, which is the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Babakashah.
Babakashah.
Natan Lanau.
Latanganau.
Hakak.
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 Larapa'a.
Lapara.
Call.
Call.
Makala.
Makalak.
Wakal.
Wakal.
Madawa.
Madawa.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Latahar.
Latahar.
Ha.
Ha.
Matazariah.
Matazoriah.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Lahakwai.
Lakwayim.
Hamathium.
Hamathium.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Al.
Al.
Rakawath.
Rakawath.
Hatama Allah.
Atama Allah.
Garashun.
Gobashim.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
The water.
The water.
Amen.
Amen. Hakak, the power in the English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Please.
Please.
Give us the power.
Give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the
The
lepers.
power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean
The
spirits.
power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh
In
Shai.
the name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. The blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahushai.
Yahweh Shai.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Mamak Allah.
Wa Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Matazab Ya'ah.
Azab Ya'ab.
Alawap Yahana.
Alawap Yahana.
Ha Alawap Yahana.
Ha Alawapyim.
Hasarunyim.
Hasarenyim.
Hakwatazayoyim.
Hakmatazayonim.
Haka Yayoyim.
Hakayonim.
Waha Akwathim.
Wa'abwapyim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahushai.
Yahweh Shai.
So water.
The water.
Amen.
Amen. The blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahushai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yahana.
Commanding General Yahana.
The generals.
The general.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayunya.
Ayunya.
All. Haharim.
Haharim.
Ma'ayan.
Mayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Isaiah.
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 Ma'ayin.
Ma'ayin.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shemayim.
Shemayim.
Wa'aratiza.
Ratiza.
All.
All.
Yadun.
Yadun.
Amawat.
Amawat.
Galka.
Galka.
All.
All.
Yanawam.
Yanum.
Shemarka.
Shemarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanum.
Wala'ah.
Allah.
Yayashun.
Yashum.
Shawamar.
Shamar.
Yasharala.
Yasharala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Al-Yad.
Ayad.
Yimyimka.
Yamka.
Yawamam.
Yamawam.
Hashamash.
Hashamash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayarach.
Wayarach.
Balayala.
Balayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Makal.
Makal.
Rai.
Rai.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Athnapashka.
Athnapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taza'afka.
Taza'afka.
Wabawa'afka.
Abba.
Ma'ida.
Ma'ida.
Wa'ai.
I
will.
will. Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord.
My help cometh from the Lord.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee
Will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold.
Behold.
He that keepeth Israel.
He that keepeth Israel
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade.
The Lord is thy shade.
Upon thy right hand.
Upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
Nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee.
The Lord shall preserve thee
From all evil.
all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy
The
soul.
Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
And thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
From this time forth.
This time forth,
And even forevermore.
even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Oh, yeah. All. The Maya.
Amaya.
Laka.
Laka.
All.
All.
Takarash.
Bakarash.
Wa'al.
Wa'al.
Ashakwat.
Ashakwat.
All.
All.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Hana.
Hana.
Yebika.
Yebika.
Yahama.
Yahama.
Yawan.
Yawam.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al.
Al.
Amaka.
Amaka.
Ya Aimwa, Sabada, Waita, Tazawa, I'll, Tazapawanyaka, Marwa, Lakawa, Wanakakidum, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Shum, Yasharala, Awda, Kaya, Tazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Al-Yaka, Baryath, Yakarathwa, Aliyah, Slakia, Ahoya, Adawam, Wa, Yashamai, Alayam, Mawa'aba, Wahagorium, Gabal, Wa'amawam, Malak, Kalashah, Am Yashabia, Tazawar, Gum, Ashawar, Nalawak, Imam, Hayawa, Zarawai, Labunya, Wat, Salah, Aisha, Lahum, Kamadyam, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabyam, Manakor, Koyashwan, Meshamadwa, Baya, Dara, Hayawa, Dama, La'a, Dama, Shayadamwa, Nadab, Yamawa, Kaira, Kaza'aba, Kazabak, Katazol, Manai, Kal, Nasayakama, Ashar, Marwa, Narasha, Nanawa, Ath, Nawath, Alahaya, Shayadamwa, Gogala, Kwash, Lapunya, Rawaka, Ka'ash, Tabaira, Ya'ira, Wa, Kalahaba, Talahat, Haryam, Kun, Taradatma, Basa Irika, Babasa, Pathka, Tabahalam, Mala'a, Panyahum, Kuala Waya, Kwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya, Mahawa, Ayai, Waya, Kaparwa, Waya, Badwa, Waya, Daiwa, Kaya, Adda, Shamka, Yahawa, Labaka, Aliwan, I'll call Haratazah. Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O God.
O God.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee.
They that hate thee.
Have lifted up the head.
They
have taken crafty counsel. Against thy people. And consulted. Against thy hidden ones. They have said. Come. And let us cut them off. From being a nation. That the name of Israel. May be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together. With one consent. They are confederate against it. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab. And the Hagarenes. Gabal. And Ammon. And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also was joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them. As unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kison. Which perished at Endor. They became as done for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb. And like Zaid. Yea. All their princes as Zabah. And as Amunah. Who said, Let us take to ourselves. The houses of God in possession. Oh my God. Make them like a wheel. As a stubble before the wind. As a fire burneth the wood. And as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them. With thy tempest. And make them afraid. With thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. O Lord. Let them be confounded. And troubled. Forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know. That thou. Whose name alone. Is Yahweh. Art the Most High. Over all the earth.
Let's get the Most High hand. All right, so today, as you can already tell by the title, we're going to be going over what is unconditional love, and is it okay to have unconditional love in certain things? Does the Most High have unconditional love for Israel?
Now we're going to be reading out of the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verses 1 through 7 in the Hebrew, and then we'll be giving the breakdown in the English. So that's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verses 1 through 7. We're gonna go over if the Most High has unconditional love for Israel.
Okay, so the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 in the Hebrew. All right. Chapter 1. That was like
28
verse 1. Okay, so chapter 28, verse 1. Yaha. It's like Shama Ash Tasha. It's like it. Dasha Mas. Okay. It's like not completely wrong. Dasha Mai. Bakwa Wall. Ya Yaha Yahweh. Ad Allah Yaka La Lash Lash Lasha Lashamar Aish Wath Aish Wath Oth Kal Ma Mataza Oth Ya Mataza Wath Yawa Ashara Anak Ya Mataza Aika Hayawan Wana Tanka Yahawa Allahaya Ka I'll ya one I'll call God I got it's like a Gawa Yan Rataza Waba Awa Al Yak Al Ya Ka Haba Rock Wath Shayag Kaya Dasha Nine Bakwa Yao Yahawa Alaha Yaka Bara Ak
ata ba ya yar waba raba ra wak ata basha da bara wak parya ba basa batanka waparya adanathka barak tana tanaka wana sha raka bara wak ata baba aka waba raka ata bataza athka yatan Yahweh ad ayab yaka hakwan hakwayan al yaka nagap yan lapan yaka bada rock aquad yataza wa al yaka waba Shabbat. That's it.
Let's clap it up. All right, so we're going to be starting from verse 1. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. So it says here, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations. Verse 2, and all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. You see, it says if, though. Key word, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Verse 3, blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out. When the Lord, the Lord shall cause thine enemies to rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways. Now, these are some good things, right? These are some things that are promised to the children of Israel by the Most High, right? If we listen to the Most High. See, the thing is, we are the children of the Most High, yes, and the Most High does love us. Here's the thing, though. Christians believe that God will love you no matter what. They like to say God hates the sin, but not the sinner, trying to overmax the fact that you've been sinning from Monday through Saturday, and then you come to Christian church, listen to your Christian pastor, and shaking tambourines and drums and stuff, and catching the Holy Ghost. I don't know what, ain't holy. There ain't nothing holy about that. That's a demon speaking tongues and all that stuff. You know, that's what they do,
right? And then have the audacity to sit here and have pork chops during Sunday service. You get my point? It's ignorant. Christians believe that God will love you no matter what. Like he's just this benevolent being that will give you whatever you want, no matter what you do. It's okay. You can smoke. You can buy prostitutes. You can be a whoremonger. You can get tattoos, shave your beard, and celebrate holidays. I know Thanksgiving coming up. I'm going to see a lot of Jakes out there celebrating Thanksgiving. Good night. My point being is, we think that we can do whatever we want, and no matter what, God is going to love us. We think God's love is unconditional. Now, what does unconditional mean? So I looked up the term unconditional in the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. So it says unconditional, not conditional, obviously, or limited, absolute or unqualified, meaning no matter what, right? Gonna love you. I don't care. Like when you say that you love, this is gonna throw some people off real quick. When you say you love your child unconditionally, what you're really saying is, son or daughter, no matter, I don't care if you smoke weed in my house. I don't care if you steal from me. I don't care if you become a mass murderer. I don't care if you become a prostitute and have an OnlyFans account. I don't care if you become a homosexual or whatever. I don't care, because you know what? I love you. I love you no matter what you do. You know what happens when you tell your kids that and you don't discipline them? They grow up and they're just all over the place. You failed them, right? You're not supposed to have unconditional love. Now, here's the reason why. So we talked about some of the good things, right? The good things that the Most High promised the children of Israel, right? You know, we're supposed to be set on high above all nations. We all know that that is not happening right now. Israel is at the bottom of the barrel right now as far as nations go. Right now, you get my point? You got the Moabites, Esau, Ammon, Amalek, good night, Hamites. They're all above us as a nation. Like, we're better, but they have a sense of unity that our nation has been lacking for a very, very long time. So as a nation, as a community, we're at the bottom of the totem pole. But it said that we were supposed to be set above high of all nations, right? And it said, you know, blessed thou shalt be in the city. We're not blessed in the city right now. You see what happens to us. I know COVID been running rampant and stuff like that, but there's still brothers and sisters dying in the street. Every time I go on Facebook, there's another sister, a so-called Black Hispanic young girl, I'm talking like 13, 12 years old, who's going missing, being kidnapped, you know, all of these things and never to be seen again. You get my point? We think it's happening to them little girls. They're being sold into sex trafficking and being whored out at a very young age, strung out on drugs, okay, to become codependent on it. You get my point? So we're not blessed in the city right now. We're not blessed in the field, okay? So why is this though? Why is this? Because now I'm going to read something else. So this is the book of Deuteronomy. I'm going to go to chapter 28, verse 15. We're going to skip to verse 15. So now we just read what will happen if we listen to the Lord. Now let's see what happens when we don't listen to the Lord, which us as a nation right now, we don't. So this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So for anybody who's been in the truth for a while, you know, we know this. These are the curses we're reading right now, right? For anybody that's new, you know, we're going to educate you on a little something real quick. So this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Cursed shalt thou be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. Why are we going over this? The Lord has, to put it in a modern term, standards. Okay? We have a relationship with the Most High. If you don't know that, if you are the children of Israel, you have a relationship with the Most High. The Lord, the Most High, has standards. Okay? His love is not unconditional. We just read it in Deuteronomy alone. Yes, there are certain things that we would be blessed with if we listen to him, meaning you got to take the action to hearken unto the Lord's voice. But if you choose, again, an action to not do it, then the curses shall fall upon you. And Israel cursed right now. We've been cursed for 400, 500 years now. Okay, we've been cursed for a very long time because we've forsaken the Most High. We turned away from him. Okay, so the Lord does not have unconditional love. He has conditions. He has standards. Just like you should. If I could, real quick, to touch on something, everybody been talking about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, right? Now, the thing is, this ain't nothing new. Sadly, this ain't nothing new in the Black, Hispanic, Native Indian community. You know, Will Smith, I mean, yeah, he, talented actor and all that stuff. A lot of people know who Will Smith is. He in the world, obviously. Lord knows what kind of wickedness is going on over there because they're all a part of Hollyweird or whatever. But he is a brother nonetheless. The thing is, though, he forsake the Lord, as a lot of us have done, right? So the curses shall fall upon him. And not just him, his children. His son is a sodomite. Hell, shoot, his daughter, was it Willow? Willow identified as bisexual at 11 years old. You're 11. She's older now, but that's besides the point. She was 11 years old and identifying her sexuality, right? Then we get into the relationship of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. My goodness. So this brother right here, I'm just going to say this brother got a weak spirit, man. Weak as hell. Why he got a weak spirit? Because he's dealing with this monster of a woman, right? This woman right here, Jada Pinkett. And I'm going to give credit where credit is due. I'm not going to sit here and act like Will Smith ain't did no dirt. Of course he did. The thing is, though, this brother loves Jada Pinkett unconditionally, and it's destroying him. I don't know if anybody has seen it, but he had like a little interview or something where he admitted that he was contemplating suicide because of all the nonsense that he's been dealing with this woman for years and years and years and years and years. Back to when Tupac was alive. You get my point? And he's been dealing with it and dealing with it and dealing with it. If this brother had, slacky for my term, if he had any balls, the second he would have found out that it really wouldn't even be his woman, honestly, because if she's cheating on you, that's not your woman. It's just your turn. You're just sharing a whore at that moment. The whole point is, whenever, I don't know when, but whenever she committed adultery, right? You're supposed to get rid of that woman. Because what the hell you look like, brother? You taking back a woman who allowed for another man to stick his rod inside of her. And it wasn't just one time neither. It wasn't like, no, she was just with one man. I mean, one other man is one too many anyway, but it's been prolonged for years. They even admitted at one point they have an open relationship. And some people say, oh, well, that's their decision. Yeah, it was their decision. And look at Will Smith now. That brother is going through it, man. Going through it. Because he loves that woman unconditionally. The brother don't have standards. Brother don't have standards. That's the whole point. Okay, the Most High has standards. And when you don't meet these standards, there are consequences. To read a little bit about them, I'm going to go to Romans chapter 1, verse 26. You got anything on this up?
As far as what you're saying about, the unconditional love, the Most High, he'll love you, but there's stipulations that come with it. You know what I'm saying? He chose us to be his people, and he loves his people. But at the end of the day, I mean, there's a way that we have to acknowledge and earn that love from him. You know what I'm saying? So what you were saying was right as far as like the unconditional love could exist. It's just the way that we act towards it or the way that we want it. I mean, like it the Lord could love us unconditionally if we do everything that he asks us to do. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But the unconditional is not unconditional no more once we start to go into our own ways and start sinning. Now, like, you know what I mean, what you're saying is real heavy because that's a righteous love right there. Because I mean, like Captain Gaddafi was getting into on Thursday, a mother can love her son unconditionally. Her son could be doing whatever he wants. He could be gang banging, a killer, a crackhead, an alcoholic. He could be stealing from her. At the end of the day, she's still gonna love him. You know what I mean? But that is not a righteous love. Well, I mean, a love for a woman and her child is a good love, but it's not a righteous love because regardless of however that child turns out, well, obviously, I can't even say that because if your child is turning out in a certain type of way and you support it, then you don't love that child. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I can't even say that is just complete unconditional love because you gotta have that same righteous mindset that the Lord has. You know what I mean? The Lord wants us to be he wants us to walk righteously. He wants us to live righteously.
Right.
And if we don't live righteously, it can lead us into being what we are today. Whores, drug addicts, you know what I mean? Freaking, you know what I mean? Like animals, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like heathens. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord's love is the love that you want to aim towards because you can't just love your children because they're just your children and they can just do whatever they want, how they want it, and whenever. You know what I mean? That's not loving your kids because at the end of the day, you're allowing them to be destroyed. And at the end of the day, you're leading them into death eventually. You know what I'm saying? So how much do you really love that child if you can't even force correction on them? You know what I mean? So you can't really even call that love. You know what I mean? Love is wanting to see your kids or your children do the best they can and be the best they can be. You know what I mean? And living in a particular way that they're doing better than what you had to endure and what you had to go through. If you allowing your children to go through the same BS that you had to go through, and you really don't love them like that. I mean, you care for them a lot, but you really don't love them like that. The Lord loves us. The Lord loves us enough to give us hard. What's that term?
Like
tough love.
Right. Tough
Yeah,
love.
tough love. The Lord loves us enough to give us tough love. We will sit there and choose other gods and other nations over what we have and what He's given us, and He'll just say, you know, okay, we'll go ahead and have it. Now, and I'll show you what they're capable of doing to you. You know what I'm saying? It's not me doing it to you; it's you doing it to yourself. You know what I mean? You got that one daughter that just doesn't want to stay in the house. She wants to keep going out, being out with her little boyfriend, and you know what I mean? It gets to a point where it's just like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to protect you from all this, but if you really want to be out there, then go ahead and go. And she pulling up to your front door, 9 months pregnant, homeless, black eye, you know what I mean? Trying to say, oh yeah, well you tried to teach me. Okay, well that's what I tried to save you from this. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's heavy.
That's like the Lord loved us enough to give us unconditional. Well, the Lord loved us enough to give us tough love. You know what I mean? The Lord gave us tough love, and He allowed us to do what we kept on trying to aim for, which is serve other gods. You know what I'm saying? Serve heathen customs. So He said, no, go ahead and have at them then. Let them have at you. And then what happened? You know what I mean? Look at us now, destroyed at the bottom of the barrel. It's like it.
No, everything you brought up was heavy. Like, literally, like that's the whole problem with unconditional love. Like the priest just brought up earlier, like a lot of times you'll see like families today, sadly, you know, father's not around, you know, the mother is the one that's raising the boys and stuff like that, or the girls, whatever. Like, they're the ones that's raising the children. But a mother, see, the thing is, with the lack of a father figure in the household, there's not that sense of discipline, right? So the mother, like you said, will love their child
unconditionally, like, baby, I love you no matter what. I don't care if you smoke weed, and you got these little whores up in the house or whatever. I don't care if you going out gang banging. Hell, I don't care if you part of the LGBTQ community and all that. Like, I don't care. I still love you, baby. You know what? This is what they like to say. I support you. That is evil. That's going to throw some people off. That is evil. If you are supporting these horrible things that your children are doing, you're dooming your children. You're the problem. You're the parent, right? Now, here's the thing is we're the children, right, of Israel. So you could think of it as like a father to child relationship with the Most High. The Most High has standards. He has rules that you're going to abide by. I'm thinking I'm just having a flashback. It's something that my father used to always tell me, like, when you grow up and you become a man and, you have your own crib and you have your own rules and stuff, okay, that's fine. But while you in this house, you're going to abide by my rules. Right. You're going to come home at a certain time. You're going to do certain chores. You're going to get a job. You're going to do this. I had to abide by my father's rules. It's a sense of discipline, right? Now, I'm going to read Romans 1 and 20. I'm going to start at 25, right? So it says right here in the book of Romans chapter 1, verse 25, who changed the truth of God into a lie and worshiped and served the creature more than the creator who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause, right? This is the Most High right here. For this cause, God gave them up unto vile affections, what the priest was bringing up earlier. We wanted to serve other gods. We wanted to do what everybody else does. We wanted to smoke and get high and fornicate and do all this other stuff. We didn't want to follow the law anymore. So what did the Most High do? He gave us up to vile affections. He let us have it. Like, you know what? You want to go have sex with strange women, but you don't want the women of Israel? Okay, fine. Go be with them. You love them so much, go be with them since you're so damn curious. And you can read about brothers in the Bible who were destroyed, who were going through it because they messed with a strange woman. Samson was a mighty strong brother, man. You couldn't mess with Samson. Other nations feared him, but he fell victim to heathen women, a prostitute at that. My goodness. You get my point? And it says, for even their women did change the natural use into which is against nature. Lesbianism, that's against nature. A woman is supposed to birth a child, right? A man is supposed to impregnate a woman. That's the natural use, to procreate, right? But because we were given up to vile affections, because we decided to go against the Most High, because we think love is unconditional, like, I'm going to do whatever I want. God still love me. Yeah, okay. All right, bet. Here you go. God said, here you go. You can have it. And because of that, we've been cursed. We've been given up to vile affections. Our woman's natural use has been changed to that against nature. And it's not just the women either. And it says right here in verse 27, and likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of a woman. You know what's crazy? I was at my slave earlier. I was talking to an SUBCRIBE brother, right? And he told me, we were talking about how, the transgenders, right? And I didn't know this. So now they have a thing called a womb transplant. So now transgender, I don't even know what the men, women, whatever, I don't know. Men who are trying to portray themselves as women, right? Transgender women, I think that's what it is. Transgender women are going to other countries to get womb transplants to try to birth a child. Like, you can't tell me we not cursed because we think love is unconditional. Unconditional love dooms our nation because conditional love has standards, okay, has rules, regulations, laws, okay? Same thing with marriage. I believe it's in, going back to what I was talking about earlier with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. That's just one example, right? There's all types of celebrities and stuff, all different accounts of brothers who are just weak as hell and just letting their woman do whatever they want because they have unconditional love for that woman. So it says right here, the book of Matthew chapter 19, verse 9. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication. Fornication is unlawful sex, meaning she's cheating on you. Plain and simple, right? So it says, and I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, meaning, we talk about this all the time. Bible says sex is marriage. Before Jada Pinkett decided to sleep with another man, that was Will Smith's wife. He couldn't just put her away lawfully. He couldn't do that, right? But it says, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another committeth adultery. And whoso marrieth her, which is put away, doth commit adultery. Pretty much horn her out. You get my point? Now, the thing is, the Lord, brothers, all right, the Lord don't want you to wife up no whore, man. If that woman out there cheating and doing Lord knows what, brother, she's fodder. Leave her. Lawfully. If she's doing that, right? Will Smith didn't do that. He took her back. He took her back every single time. Baby, I love you. We're going to work it out. Even though you done cheated on me, Lord knows how many times. You got an open relationship. That don't even sound right. That sounds nasty as hell. You're willingly knowing that it's just, no. You get my point? It's disgusting. But this is what happens to our nation when we choose to not follow the Most High. There's terms to love. You get my point? So, if I could real quick.
I think she has something on him. I think that.
Who knows?
Yeah, I know. I don't think that their relationship is real. I mean, it's just.
I couldn't tell you.
I think Will loves the opposite sex. Well, the same sex. I don't think that marriage is real. It just doesn't make any sense at all.
That's just more vile affections. I mean, the brother. I cannot say if he is a member of the LGBTQ community. It hasn't been proven yet, but we all know how celebrities get down. There's a lot of things that go on behind closed doors, and that usually gets revealed to the light. So who knows? Who knows, right? But the thing is, going back to, I just use that as an example. Going back to us, right? Us as a nation, our relationship with the Most High. If I could, can I get Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 8, and I'm going to get the book of Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 28. So just to go over some times when we, as usual, wanted to be disobedient to the Most High. You gotta remember, for those of y'all who don't know, when Moses was instructed, Moses and Aaron were instructed to get us up out of Egypt, what did we do? Complained. And at one point we even said, man, I want to go back to Egypt. I'm tired of this. Even though the Lord was like giving us everything that we needed to survive. Yeah, it was hard. Okay, it's cool though, but we were getting out of captivity. I mean, sure, wouldn't you want to get out of captivity? Sure, look, man, I'm tired of this place. I don't know about you. I don't want to be here. You know what I mean? I'm tired of this. So if the Lord is instructing priests and prophets to lead me somewhere else, Khan Adawan Khan, okay, we gonna get through it. Yeah, it's not always gonna be great. Might not be the best of conditions, but listen, you get my point. But at one point, the Most High was about to do away with us. You get my point. And Moses, being the righteous brother that he is, from the tribe of Levi, those are the so-called Haitians today, he persuaded the Most High, that's not a very easy thing to do. You get my point, to keep us, because he was going to make a lineage straight out of Moses. That's it. But like, to hell with him. But if I could I get the book of Jeremiah chapter 3 verse 8?
The book of Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 8. And I saw when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, I had put her away and given her a bill of divorce. Yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not, but went and played the harlot also.
See, now this is getting into the relationship we have with the Most High. We are, in a sense, married unto the Most High. Now, it says right there, like a bill of divorce, right? A bill of divorce, you do away with them. And it's talking about Israel and Judah. And I know that the reason why it's broken up like that is because a lot of people
like to say that Hispanics and Native Indians aren't Israel and stuff like that. Like, oh, Mexicans aren't Israel. Puerto Ricans and Salvador, no, they're too light skinned. They look like the white man. They not one of us. Yes, they are. They are one of us. Okay, that's why it says Israel and Judah. Judah referring to more of the southern tribes. Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Your darker skinned brothers like me and the brother up here. Like we're Judah, Levi, the Haitians, Benjamin or Banyamyan in the Hebrew, which is our West Indian brothers and sisters, Jamaicans, Trinidad, all that stuff. So because, could you read that one more time for the top, Baba Kasha?
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 3 and verse 8. And I saw when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, I had put her away and given her a bill of divorce. Yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not, but went and played the harlot also.
So playing the harlot, playing a whore, committed adultery. We committed adultery against the Most High by allowing ourselves to be polluted by other nations. We were supposed to be pure through and through, but we wanted to dip and dabble with the Hamites and the Asians and everybody else, right? So everybody else got a hand on us. We played the harlot. We played the whore to the Most High. Here's another example. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, verse 28. Thou hast played the whore, another word for harlot, also with the Assyrians, because thou wast unsatiable. Yea, thou hast played the harlot, there goes that word again, harlot, with them, and yet couldst not be satisfied. Think of, what's that? Oh, it is. Okay, all right. But my whole point being is the unsatiable, right? Y'all ever heard that term, happy wife, happy life? Is no. Now I know some women might not want to hear that. Now I'm not saying treat your woman bad. That ain't what I'm saying, brothers. What I'm saying is do not be the brother to forsake yourself and forsake the Most High. This is just one example. Just to please your woman. Because what's that saying? You can give a woman the earth and you can, what is it? You can give a woman the earth, but
She'll want the stars.
yeah, she'll want the stars, and she'll be like, where the stars and the sun and the moon at? You get my point. It's unsatiable. We weren't satisfied. We weren't satisfied with what the Most High was giving us. We weren't satisfied with the heathens were giving us. We played the harlot. We played the whore. The Most High's love is not unconditional. It's not unconditional. There's conditions. It's like you should have conditional love, discipline. When you have discipline for your kids, that's conditional. Hey, that you can love them, that's still your kids. But there's certain things that you should not tolerate with your children, with your woman, even with brotherhood, stuff like that, right? Pretty sure there's people in the world that you may know and stuff like that. You're not supposed to allow for certain things. Like, how you my friend if you steal from me? How you my friend and you trying to talk to my woman when I'm not around? How you my friend if you talking slick behind my back? And you tolerating that? Like, you just keep, hey, like, I'm not saying fight the brother. No, that's not what I'm saying. But be wise. For example, David with Saul. David, he loved Saul, but Saul was wicked as hell. So David was wise enough to at least be mindful, like, okay, I need to watch out for this dude, just in case. Because he was trying to kill him. You get my point? But for the sake of time, does anybody have any questions before we go?
Some ideology applied, so I don't get it.
Okay, whatever. All right. But Salakia, cutting the class just a little short today for the sake of time. So with that, Majim, just me and the brother up here.
La Yasharala.
Men of Israel, gird up thy loins, prepare to salute the Torah.
How about Shem Shabbat? Yeah.
Yahba Shem Yahushai Barak Yah.
Madim upon Yahakwadam, which means to stand and face the east. We're going over the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. This is the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa,
Abanawa,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Kodash,
Kodash,
Hayah,
Hayah,
Shemka,
Shemka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Malak with Ka,
Malak with Ka,
Taba'ah,
Taba'ah,
Tzaka,
Tzaka,
Hayah,
Hayah,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Ba'aratazah,
Ba'aratazah,
Kawa,
Kawa,
Hayah,
Hayah,
Bashamayim,
Bashamayim,
Matan Lanaw,
Now,
Akam,
Akam,
Call,
Call,
Yawam,
Yawam,
Basalakna,
Basalakna,
Kabawatna,
Kabawatna,
Basalakna,
Basalakna,
Kabawathina,
Kabawathina,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Yana,
Yana,
Anasaiwan,
Anasaiwan,
Abal,
Abal,
Hawashina,
Hawashina,
Mayan,
Mayan,
Rai,
Rai,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Laka,
Laka,
Amalakwa,
Amalakwa,
Waha'ala,
Wala'ala,
Watapara,
Watapara,
Abalamim,
Abalayim,
Aman.
Amen. The Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
thy kingdom come,
thy kingdom
thy
come,
will be
thy
done
will be done
in earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily
And
bread.
forgive us our
And
debts
forgive us our debts
as we forgive our
as
debtors.
we forgive our
And
debtors.
lead us not
And lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us
but deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the
For
kingdom
thine is the kingdom
and the power
and the power
and the glory
and the glory
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah,
Asha'ah,
Ayanya,
Ayanya,
All,
All,
Baharium,
Baharium,
Mayan,
Mayan,
Yaba'ah,
Yaba'ah,
Isaiah,
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 Ma'ain,
Ma'ain,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Shamayim,
Shamayim,
Ba'aratazah,
Baratazah,
Ayathan,
Ayathan,
Amawat,
Samawat,
Regalka,
Regalka,
All,
All,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Shemorka,
Shemorka,
Hana,
Hana,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Bala'ah,
Bala'ah,
Yayashun,
Yasham,
Shawamar,
Shamar,
Yasharala,
Yasharala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shemorka,
Shamarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazalka,
Tazalka,
Aryad,
Aryad,
Yamyamka,
Yamyamka,
Yawamam,
Yanawam,
Hashamash,
Hashamash,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yakaka,
Yakaka,
Vayarah,
Ira,
Balayala,
Balala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Yashamarka,
Makal,
Makal,
Rai,
Rai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Athna Pashka,
Atnapashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Taza Afka,
Taza'afka,
Afka,
Abba-Akka,
Maita,
Maitha,
I will look.
Awulam. Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord,
My help cometh from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth
will
thee
not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth
shall
Israel
neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade
The Lord is thy shade
upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by
nor
night.
the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee
The Lord shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy
The
soul.
Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming
from
in.
this time forth
This time forth,
and even forevermore.
even forevermore. This is Psalm 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Elohim,
all, the Maya,
Amaya,
the Ka,
Laka,
all,
all,
the Karash,
Shakarash,
wa all,
all,
the Shakwat,
Ashquat,
all,
all,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Hana,
Ana,
wa Yebika,
Yebika,
Yahama,
Yaman,
Yawan,
Yawan,
Ra'ash,
Ash,
Al,
Ah,
Amka,
Amaka,
Ya'amu,
Amwa,
Sawadah,
Saudah,
Waida,
Waida,
Atazawa,
Tazawa,
Al,
Al,
Tazawanyaka,
Tazawanyika,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Lakawa,
Akawa,
Wanaka,
Kakida,
Kakida,
Magoya,
Magoya,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Shum,
Shum,
Yasharala,
Yasharala,
Awada,
Awada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Atazawa,
Tazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakadwa,
Yakadwa,
Ayaka,
Ayaka,
Baraya,
Arayaf,
Yakarafa,
Yakawafa,
Ahaya,
Ahaya,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Wa,
Wa,
Yashamai,
Yashamai,
Alayam,
Aliyam,
Yash, yeah, Mawa'aba,
Abba,
Wahagoyim,
Magoyim,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wamawan,
Wamawan,
Wamalak,
Amalak,
Halashah,
Halashah,
Am Yashabia,
Am Yashabia,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gum,
Gum,
Ashawar,
Ashawar,
Alawa,
Alawa,
Imam,
Amam,
Hiawa,
Hiawa,
Zarwai,
Zarwai,
Labunya,
Labunya,
Lawat,
Lawat,
Salat,
Salah,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Laham,
Laham,
Kamadyam,
Kamadyam,
Kasaya,
Isaiah,
Sara'ah,
Sara'ah,
Kayabyam,
Kayabyam,
Manakal,
Manakal,
Koyashwan,
Koyashwan,
Shabwa,
Yashabwa,
Bayan,
Bayan,
Dara,
Dawa,
Hiawa,
Kaiwa,
Naman,
Naman,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Dama,
Dama,
Shayatamba,
Shayatama,
Nada,
Nada,
Yamawa,
Yamawa,
Kaira,
Kaira,
Kazaba,
Kazaba,
Kazabak,
Kazabak,
Katazal,
Katazal,
Manai,
Manai,
Call,
Call,
Nasayakamwa,
Nasiyakama,
Ashar,
Asham,
Amarwa,
Amawa,
Yarasha,
Narasha,
Nanawa,
Anawat,
Af,
Af,
Nawa,
Nawat,
Alahayam,
Alahaya,
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 Shayatamba,
Shayatama,
Gogala,
Gogala,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya,
Lapanya,
Rabaka,
Rabaka,
Kaash,
Kaash,
Ira,
Ira,
Yaira,
Ira,
Wa,
Wa,
Kalahaba,
Kalaba,
Dalahat,
Dalahat,
Haryam,
Hayam,
Khan,
Ken,
Dama,
Damardatma,
Basa Irika,
Irika,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wapafka,
Papka,
Bahalam,
Alamam,
Ala'a,
Ala,
Panyaham,
Panaham,
Palawan,
Palawam,
Waya,
Maya,
Bakwashwa,
Kwashwa,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Waya,
Maya,
Bahawa,
Bahawa,
Adyai,
Ayai,
Waya,
Maya,
Parwa,
Parwa,
Waya,
Maya,
Badwa,
Abadwa,
Waya,
Maya,
Daiwa,
Daiwa,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Adda,
Ata,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Abadka,
Abadka,
Alyawan,
Ayawam,
Al,
Al,
Call,
Call,
Parat.
Haratazah. Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O God.
O God.
For lo,
thine
thine enemies make a tumult.
enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee
They that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy people.
And consulted
Consulted
against thy hidden.
against thy hidden.
They have
They
said,
have said,
Come,
Come
and let us cut them
and
off
let us cut them off
from being a nation,
being a nation.
that the name of Israel
The name of Israel
may be no more
may
remembrance.
be no more remembered.
For they have consulted
For
together
they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against
They
thee.
are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom,
Tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites,
Ishmaelites,
of Moab,
Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
the Hagarenes,
the Baal,
Baal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
Philistines,
with the inhabitants of
with
Tyre.
the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
So also is joined with
They
them.
have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of
at the
Kison,
brook of Kison,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb,
Make their nobles like a
and
red,
like Zaid.
like Zaid.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes as Zabah,
all their princes as a
and as Zalmunna,
and as Almun,
who said,
who said,
Let us take to ourselves
Let us take to
the
ourselves
houses of God in
the
possession.
houses of God in possession.
Oh my God,
Oh my God,
make them like a will,
make them like a will,
as a stubble before the wind,
as a stubble before the wind,
as a fire burneth a wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
and as the flame set the mountains on
as
fire.
the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them
and
afraid
make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
they may seek thy name.
O Lord,
Oh Lord,
let them be
let
confounded
them be confounded
and troubled
and troubled
forever.
forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name
whose
alone
name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the Most High
art the Most High
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom, Israel.